Welcome to another Sunday WOAY ABC4 Community Forum, where we talk to community leaders and local success stories to discuss important information that affects all of us here in Southern West Virginia. I'm your host, Brandy Lawrence, and today we're joined by another distinguished guest. Leon Roden, who is the events manager at the Raleigh County Parks and Recreation, joins us this morning. Thanks so much for coming to the forum.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome to have you here. I think usually we see Miss Molly Williams, but I think it's the first time that we're seeing you on the forum here, and you have a lot of cool information about some upcoming events at the Raleigh County Parks and Recreation. The first of which we talked about was a live music series.
Yes, ma'am. I'm working on a live music series that I hope picks up and brings a lot of energy to the area. We're hosting at least one live music series with a local producer and local bands each month for this whole season this summer.
Awesome. Sounds like a good time. And do you have all your acts lined up, or are there some people out there that can maybe reach out to you and get on that schedule?
There is. I have a talented producer, Mr. Snyder, who's been around this area for quite a while doing this, Jim Snyder, who's actually going to be producing two of our concerts. He will reach out to local bands and he'll get them, and then I'll put out the flyers and things like that. We also have one series that's going to be done by a band called The Company and Tyler Carden. He's a smaller local band area, but that'll bring some of the younger talent in as well. And then we finished the season with the Collaborative School of Arts, and that's going to be like an American Idol style type of talent contest for 18 and under. I'm hoping that really grows, and then we can do it for older ones as well and turn it into an entire weekend event. The dates for those are going to be dropped on our website by the end of this week, so keep an eye out for that.
Awesome, definitely. And I'm sure, you'll draw out a lot of talent, because I don't think a lot of people know that there's a lot of musical talent here in Southern West Virginia.
There is. I put out a questionnaire on our website asking what kind of things people would like to see, and the majority of people put live music. So I put out a general thing that asked, hey, who would be willing to do this? And I got friended over 200 times from local bands, local artists, things like that really want to make this work. And now I'm branching it out to turn these things also into vendor-centered concerts and things like that. So it's going to be almost like a whole music fair. It'll be Woodstock seating. People bring their chairs and their blankets and just come together as a community and the beautiful music and great talent that we have here.
Yeah, that'll be really awesome. And I think there's always something new going on in Raleigh County, and I think this will be something really cool to do. And since Raleigh County Parks is much bigger than Lake Stevens and some people think, is this going to be across different parks, or is it just going to kind of be focused on one? Or
right now they're going to be held in Lake Stevens.
Gotcha.
Our director Molly Williams just put in to have a mobile stage, so she's trying to get grants for that. If we do that, then we can hold them at the Dry Hill Prosperity, at Fitzpatrick, different things like that. I have been tossing around, and I think I'm going to also do some smalls, which is like solo artists and things like that. At the softball tournaments at Fitzpatrick, a lot of the community, especially church leagues and stuff, get together there. So it can be across any genre: Christian music, classic rock, bluegrass, R&B and soul, stuff like that. So I'm hoping to bring a whole lot of things like that together.
Oh, that'll be awesome. And it'll be something for everybody too. Just whatever type of music you like, just come out on that day and immerse yourself in it.
Yes, ma'am.
So awesome. And also, a lot of these events that you all do, the money from them, they go right back into the park.
They do. They'll go right back into the parks for things like the music. My end goal with the music is we've been kicking around, I really hope it happens, to have an amphitheater down to Lake Stevens. So none of this money goes into our pockets. It always goes directly back into our parks and into our events. So I can build them bigger and better and bring more people out.
Awesome. So, everybody out there, please know that like the events that you go to, the way that you support your parks, ultimately it goes right back into the park, and it goes on to make everything better. So if you ever feel like, there's nothing to do, I'm from here too, guys. Sometimes we feel like there's nothing to do. Raleigh County Parks and Recreation is giving us something to do. Come out and support, and they can do more.
Yes, and feel free to reach out to us and give us any suggestions. I have suggestions from live music, which I'm making happen, to horse shows and rodeos, which actually used to happen at the Dry Hill Prosperity Park. I can go into the history of that later if you'd like, but it would take quite a bit of money, so it's something that's down the road. But give us suggestions, and I'm going to try to make it happen, because ultimately we're here for you.
Definitely, definitely. So make sure you reach out to Raleigh County Parks and Recreation. They're very receptive, and they want to, make everything better for us. So those horse shows in the rodeo, that sounds really cool too. So I hope that happens. And the parks have already been doing really cool events. We see things happening. Your calendar is very, very full. We see that Easter's coming up. We got a Easter egg hunt coming up.
We do. We have an Easter egg hunt that's coming up, and it's going to be at Fitzpatrick Park. It's free to everybody. We've got over 1,500 eggs that'll be out all over the fields, and we have it divided. We try to improve each event that we have. Last year, some of the complaints were some older kids were kind of grabbing them before the younger. So we chose Fitzpatrick Park because it's got 3 softball fields, and we can divide it up by ages. So the littles can be here, the middles can be here, and the older ones can be over here. So we hope that adds to the safety and the fun for all. And each one of the fields is going to have some golden eggs that'll have some grand prizes in them as well, with things like full day passes to our splash pads, aquatics park, and things like that.
Awesome. So good prizes, good prizes.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
You're getting your stuff early for Easter, and you get a splash pad ticket. Be ready for the summer. So you already have it.
Yes.
And I see that you also have some seasonal job openings, so people can work at those splash pads. I believe the website is raleighcountyparks.gov, so you can go there and you can check out some of the available positions. How do things look, usually during your spring and summer months? Like, what's the community reaction that you usually see?
During the off months, or during
your on months, your spring, your summer.
During our on months. It gets pretty busy around there. Our campground's always full. Our events, pavilions, and things like that are always purchased. So if you're going to use them, or use our Lake Stevens Event Center for weddings and stuff, start reserving them now. But they get really busy. I mean, this year we have July 3rd will be our July 4th fireworks display, which is always huge. I believe they did a cell phone ping last year, and there was about 10,000 people just down at Lake Stevens. So it gets really busy, and as we add more things, like Mr. Jim Snyder's going to be doing a Jimmy Buffett cover down on the beach with a full band along with the DJ we normally have. So we're trying to grow things, and it's just, it gets kicking. People come out, but I really want to get more people out, so we want to find more events. Like I have a Puzzle Palooza thing coming up. It's a puzzle race. So a 4-person team puts together a 500-piece puzzle, and they can get up to 25% of the ticket profit that we make, up to $100 to win that. So different things during season, off season, we have things as well. So it's great. I'm excited about things we have going, because our parks have a long history of having things going for the community and bringing the community together, and that excites us all down there.
Definitely. I think that Puzzle Palooza will really kick things off, because people are really, really into puzzles. There's some really big puzzle enthusiasts out there, and to make it a game, like a real big competition, I think that would be really cool as well. And the Buffett tribute down at the lake, I feel like that's fitting, super fitting. You talk about Margaritaville and on the beach on July 4th, it'd be really awesome. And I know you also do some really cool things down at the splash pad often down at Lake Stevens. So sounds like a lot of summer fun down at Lake Stevens at Raleigh County Parks altogether. So let's see, what else do we have? Oh, we're also, I don't know if we mentioned it, the talent showcase a little bit. That'll be August 2nd.
It is August 2nd.
And will there be an announcement of when you all are looking for the contestants for?
There will, and I expect, because of the talent that we have around here, and especially the young talent, I expect to get a lot of submissions. So what we're thinking about doing is doing it a lot like the American Idol style. You send in audio clips and even video clips and things like that, and then we will it down to a number that will actually be performing on August 2nd in front of people and in front of judges. We are working with a local radio station that hopefully will have some side benefits with that as well.
Yep. So all you young musicians and singers out there, make sure you keep an eye on that because there's an opportunity for some really cool prizes and a way to get your, get your talent out there. Let people see you. And let's see what else. Sorry, working this out. So we were talking about how a lot of your events, the money goes right back into the park, and you all are have an idea to use some of that money to continue the live music with an amphitheater.
Yes, it is something I put forward, and our director, Molly Williams, is pretty excited about it. So we're actually looking into hopefully growing this live music series, and it won't come all at once because, it's government stuff, so it takes a little while to work through things. But if we can get an amphitheater down there and we could hold plays, comedians, more live music, and turn it into actual fests and stuff down there, I believe that would be great for our community. Bring people out that don't normally come out to the parks, but they can see the beauty as they're coming in and hopefully branch out and go to our different parks for that reason.
Awesome. And it could even be a whole park-wide fest. Like you can do something different at different parks on one day. I'm like, that would be amazing. And to see that you all were able to ping like 10,000 people at the July 4th fireworks. They're definitely out there. So we can definitely get those people out there. Just got to come out.
Please.
Yes, please. All right, so we're about to go on to our first break, but before we go, do you mind plugging the contact information so everybody knows where to find all this good information and where to keep up with this live music series that's coming up?
Yes, if they go to raleighcountyparks.gov, that's our website. But we also have Facebook pages for Raleigh County Parks and for each individual park. So Lake Stevens, Fitzpatrick Park, the Dry Hill Prosperity, the Marsh Fork, the Stoco, Clear Forks Rail Trail, and we have more parks coming. Just a little.
All right, well, thank you so much, and thank you all. Come back after the break. We're going to talk more about Raleigh County Parks and Recreation and get into some of the history. Forum. I'm here with events manager Leon Roden from Raleigh County Parks and Recreation, and we're talking about everything that the park has going on, including the mobile rec. I think last time Molly was here, she talked to me a little bit about it, about some of the activities that you all have just kind of like roaming around the park. Yeah,
Once the Mobile Rec Center becomes up and running, it's a over 20-foot trailer that's going to have things in there like cornhole, a go-go ball pit, shuffleboard, giant Connect Four stuff, things like that, that when people have family reunions or parties or things at our parks, they can also rent the mobile rec, and we'll bring it out, we'll set it all up for them, and they'll get to use it.
Awesome. So any type of events you guys have going on, get in touch with the mobile rec and, you get some more activities out there. And speaking of activities, we know that you guys every year around Halloween, you have a costume vault, which is really cool. We love to advertise for it because there's a lot of kids out there need a good costume, and it's an awesome way for them to get one. So we hear that you kind of had a surplus in certain costumes this year.
We did. We had Jackie from the Big Lots down in Beckley get a hold of us and say, hey, we're going to give you our excess Halloween stuff after Halloween. I was like, great. Went down there, we got it all. I thanked her, gave her a big hug. And we love it when people do stuff like that so we can service the community better. Well, we brought it back and we found over 100, probably close to 140 size small little red ninja outfits. And Molly said, what are we going to do with that? And after about 5 seconds, I said, Toddler Ninja Warrior. So I'm hoping to get with some of the gyms, some of the CrossFits and stuff that can help sponsor us in that. And we're going to have an event of Toddler Ninja Warrior with obstacles with bales of hay with some large truck tires that King's Tire donated to us so they can run through them. We're going to have them crawl under things and stuff with little pennies on, with numbers and stuff like that, and give away awards and stuff at the end of it. I just think it'd be awesome to get our little kids out to our parks and see 100 little ninjas. Who doesn't want to see 100 little red ninjas go over obstacles? So I just think it'd be great. Sometimes we have to be creative like that, and I love it.
I would love to see that. I think everybody would love to see that. You see a bunch of little red ninjas just running around the park. So if anybody can help out with that, like, please get in touch with Raleigh County Parks and Rec, because I think everybody would love to see that. Like, I think it'll be hilarious.
Definitely. I'm still working on the logistics of it, but I'm going to make it happen by the end of the summer. So.
Awesome. So if anybody is interested in helping out with that, or if anybody can donate anything, please get in touch with them, because I think we all want to see that. That'll be really cool. So you said that you have done a lot of research, a lot of historical research on the parks in your job. So we've heard a couple little things, but is there anything interesting that you can tell us about one of the several parks that we have in Raleigh County that we don't know?
Well, I mean, some of them that you would think would be a little more obscure, like the Fitzpatrick Park. A lot of people look at it and say, hey, it's softball field and it's got a playground. But that little park has a lot of history. It began back in the early 1900s as a W.M. Ritter lumber company. In that little park, there was an opera house, a church, 2 schools, 40 houses on one side that were for the white people that worked there, and then a segregated side of 20 houses. So I wrote a history on that. We're working on getting some information boards once we get the grants, and we have pictures of the town the way it was. So you can stand there and look and say, that's where the opera house was, that's where, and I've got the writings of several people that lived there during that time that I put into my paper as well. While I was doing the research, I even found a Civil War skirmish that previously has not been written about in this area as part of Toland's raid as he came from Charleston down to Withville to attack a lead mine. And the skirmish happened at this place called Spangler's Mill, which is less than a quarter mile from Fitzpatrick Park. As I was doing research, another thing that excites me, I really want to make happen, I found out that the park was partially funded by something called the Miss Fitzpatrick contest. So that was an African-American beauty contest and popularity contest. And while I was doing it, I actually found the names of, I believe, every single person that participated in it and won in it. And I would love to reach out to different organizations and see if I can find those ladies and have them come out to the park for, whether it be at a WV Tech softball game to honor them, or just have a whole thing just for them. So I would love to do something like that.
Wow, that'd be wonderful.
Yes. We also have the Dry Hill Prosperity Park. You see the building there, it looks a little older. Well, that's for a reason. That's because we wanted to keep it that way. That those cinder blocks were made by hand by the people of Dry Hill Prosperity. That whole park was built without any government funding. So they made the cinder blocks, they made the buildings themselves through something called the American Life Group. And yeah, there's so much history in our parks. I nerd out on it. People laugh at me, but I love it. And it's part of the core of who we are here. And I'd love for the community to come out and talk to me about it, see our information boards that we're going to have built and things like that.
Really, I can't wait for them. I'm sure a lot of you all can either, because, I mean, there's so many things that we didn't know. The Miss Fitzpatrick pageant, the lumber mill, a Civil War skirmish right here in our backyard. Like, these are things that, the people should know. And I can't wait for you all to get the information boards. And if anybody wants to help out and donate with that, you can also go to raleighcountyparks.gov and help donate for that. And yes, also, I believe they're still working on some of the playground projects as well. So you can also help out with that too. Just help to make the parks even better than what they are. But that's really cool, like all of that. And even the how Dry Hill was made by the the original people that were there. It seems like this the whole park service can be under like a historical grant. Like, I think that is a ground for that.
It could, and if people wait just a little bit, I wrote a 250-page book on the history of all of our parks. It's in the editing process right now. I'm hoping to get it bound so it can be in the library, and we're going to have drop-down menus on our Facebook pages and on our Raleigh County Parks .gov site, so people can hit the drop down and they'll be able to read about our parks and learn. It's a great thing for homeschooling and just people in the area to learn about the great history we have here.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we got to keep an eye out for that. What was the experience like, putting all this information together and writing that book?
The experience was great. I mean, there was, like I said, some of the more obscure ones, like the Fitzpatrick Park, I didn't think I'd find that much on, but it goes deep into the, like Stoke Hoe and Marsh Fork, into the coal, the history of coal and the scrip and then free cities. Our Marsh Fork Memorial Park used to be the Marsh Fork High School, as most people know, but it also had a little elementary school attached to it. And children would ride the train and then go across this swinging bridge in the wintertime across the river that's right next to it. And I mean, just not being from here and being able to be engrossed in the history of this place was just a real eye-opener for me. I first moved here because of the people and how great the people are. I mean, it's the only place I've ever seen where you can come up and you don't have priority and people wave at you like, have a good day, and let you out. I really want to continue to serve the people in this manner and bring in the best parks and recreation we can.
Absolutely. And I think you all are definitely on your way. Just doing all that research and learning all these things, I don't think we wouldn't have known about that. I mean, if you hadn't really done the research. So thank you so much. And it's just really cool. I think there's a different West Virginia that we didn't even know about. I think the way that we live today, sometimes we get so caught up in the hustle and bustle of every day that we don't know about all the special things that happen here. And it's definitely important for us to know.
Yes, ma'am.
So as a historical buff, what would you love to see, going forward? Are you still doing more research? Are you still digging deeper? Or is it kind of, we found all that we can find right here?
No, there's always more to find. I mean, we have a great historical records in the Raleigh County Courthouse in the vault in there. And I mean, I found land grants, original land grants from General Beckley, buying his land and selling it. That's how I found the Civil War skirmish. I was looking at things on his mill and realized that he owned a mill before the mill that we know as our historical marker down near the armory right now. And he sold it to a man named Asa Spangler. And then I found Civil War records from actual officers that were in the skirmish that mentioned Asa Spangler's mill, which is right near Fitzpatrick Park. And yeah, it's great. I get nerded out about it, but this.
Me too, honestly, because I mean, I've lived here my entire life, and there's so many things, like you're telling me so many things that I just did not know about. And there may be some more historians out there that may have some information. Hopefully somebody who knows some of those ladies that were in that pageant. Please get in touch with them, because I think that would be really awesome. And I think it would be really awesome to get those ladies together and get to see them today and honor them and celebrate them. And honestly, I've actually been in touch. I've judged a couple of pageants myself. So maybe if we can get in touch with some of the pageant people, some pageant directors, maybe they want to bring the pageant back. And that's something else you all could do at the park.
That'd be awesome. I'm always open for ideas, and I'm actually going to write that down as soon as we get off air.
Yeah, we'll definitely be in touch. And honestly, I think a lot of these could make really awesome news stories, get the word out and let people know, like, the history right here in your own backyard. And hopefully you all have something to share as well that can, further make the parks even better. So let's see. Oh, before we go, I always love to ask, is there any way that, the community, any of us could help you all out with making Raleigh County Parks and Recreation even bigger and better and, help you make your job easier?
There is. I mean, you can go onto our site, raleighcountyparksrec.gov, and give any suggestions that you have, and I will always answer back things on the events. But we're starting a Friends of Raleigh County Parks and Recreation. So we're going to start individual ones for each park and for our organization as a whole. And I've learned from recently graduating from the Leadership Beckley course here just a short time ago that networking around here is really how you get things done. The concerned citizens of the place give their whole hearts to different events, different things that we can do. And we're always looking for people to help us out with things like that, because we're for the community, but we'd love to be by the community as well. And the more help we can get, the more we can make for you.
Absolutely, absolutely. I know there are always people out there wanting to get involved. So, I mean, this is a really fun way and also an impactful way to get involved with your community. So make sure you get in touch with Raleigh County Parks and Rec.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, and also check out their website as well for those job openings. There are a lot of seasonal job openings, and the park does not run if they don't have all these people to help make it run. So all you college students coming home, I think working on the splash pad would probably be a fun thing to do.
Definitely. Well, I mean, we have openings in cleaning and maintenance, in splash pad and lifeguards. I now have employees that I can hire for events. So if you'd like to go to those concerts, work to take booths, see some of the concerts, different things like that. If you want to dress up as the Easter Bunny for my Easter egg hunt, that would be awesome. So we've got a lot of different opportunities for people with different skill sets within our parks.
Awesome. Oh, and also the Ninja Warrior. I think if we can get some big ninjas out there to kind of help, supervise, if you got a ninja costume and you're an adult, I think you come on out and help out with there's a lot of tiny ninjas to wrangle.
It is. I mean, we've got the costumes this year, but this is something I would like to run through the rest of the years as well. Anytime we can get little kids out there to get active and be in our parks and enjoy the sunshine around here, we're all for it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And they're going to get great naps after that. So.
Definitely.
So I think the parents, there's some incentive for you guys there too. But thank you so much for coming to our community forum. And thank you guys for joining us for Community Forum this week. Make sure you tune in next week where we speak to more local success stories and community leaders about important information affecting all of us here in Southern West Virginia. Have a happy Sunday.